LAN Play is one of the cooler features of the Switch, and today we're showing you how to set it up, how fast it works, and what it's like in FAST RMX. What's up, everybody? It's Zach from Switch Force. We've got Gabe and Jake duking it out in a head-to-head FAST RMX race. Gabe is on the left screen, Jake is on the right. They're selecting their vehicles, and you'll see just how quickly you can get into a local area network match. It is super fast. So Gabe has selected his vehicle, it loads him into a lobby, and you can instantly see that the other Switch is recognized and right there. Occasionally it takes a little longer, but for the most part it is just that snappy. Now they are waiting for other players because LAN play can be up to 8 switches. Now with FAST RMX specifically, when you do LAN, it's 1 player per switch. If you're doing split screen, it can be up to 4 per switch, but for LAN, it's got to be 1 guy on each switch, and that is why I am in charge of the color commentary, and they are racing here on Cameron Crest. Now, both of them have played a decent amount of FAST RMX, and we've all found it to be one of the more awesome launch titles for Switch. It's kind of a standout, and at 20 bucks with the different multiplayer options and the speedy, beautiful racing, I think it's definitely one to look out for, one to get, and probably a really good use of your Switch dollars. Now, we have had 0 issues with the LAN play. It seems to work very well, it seems to work seamlessly, and is a lot of fun. We have, though, had some issues with Wi-Fi, and we've seen people mention this on Twitter and NeoGAF about some trouble and some difficulty getting the Switch to recognize Wi-Fi connection. I've had instances where it's perfect. I've had instances where I have to hard reset my Switch multiple times just for it to recognize a network. And I'm not really sure what's causing that. I don't know if they've already figured out what's causing that, but I hope it's something they can address in a future update to make the Wi-Fi connections more stable. But here with FAST RMX, it looks like Gabe has an early lead. Jake is trying to catch up. They're using different vehicles here. So they're on the second lap, and I think this game looks really good. It really takes advantage of the crisp screen in handheld mode here. They've played it both docked and handheld recently, and I gotta say, this is a really cool way to play. I like that they each get their own personal screen, and you can imagine, like, even just being comfy across the room. Obviously, for the purpose of the video, we have them side by side, but you could each be doing this handheld and each be racing local and have it set up that fast. I think that's a real nice feature for the Switch, to be able to activate and have that kind of multiplayer option so easily accessible. So FAST RMX is another great example of how you can do online, how you can do LAN, how you can do split screen, and I hope that many more Switch games will utilize and take advantage of the different ways. We're on the final lap, and Gabe has a slight lead as Jake picks up a whole lot of orbs and is moving to advance up on Gabe's tail. Will he catch him? That is the question of the day. Let us know if you have any questions about LAN play or online of any sort in the comments down below. We'll try our best to cover them, or at least respond to them in a comment force if the question is needing an answer. Who is going to win? It looks like Jake has taken the lead here in lap 3 and is moving his way towards a first place finish. For some reason, this course really reminds me of Xenoblade. Alright, here we go. This makes me real excited for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Cannot wait to play that. Jake takes first place, and we're going to run it back with a challenge race. Let's see if we do one more, if they even the score, and how quickly we get into another match. So this is completed, again, still on the local area network, and it's going to stick. So they choose a new map, and boom, right in the lobby. A slight wait for other players to join, giving people a chance. If we have any random rogue Switch users hiding in the bushes, now is your chance. Anybody? Anybody? Nobody. All right, let's begin the race. This is for all the marbles. In general, it's pretty fast loading all around. Kuiper Belt, this basically looks like the Rainbow Road equivalent here as they exit the atmosphere and head to outer space. I just want to get my hands on these race cars. I'm excited to put a lot of time into the Switch. You know, obviously we make a whole bunch of videos, but it's also just a real exciting time to be a fan. And so we've been having a lot of fun, you know, doing stuff for recording and just playing it on our own. All right, Gabe takes an early lead. It looks like Jake advances ahead. Oh no, Gabe still has the lead. This really is a pretty game. Now, I will say that the speeds for Wi-Fi, if we are just going to talk a little bit about, you know, the connections, have been really great. Downloading games has been quick. You know, it doesn't seem to have some of the issues that PS4, Xbox One have in terms of stalling out or of really putting a damper on your internet speeds. Granted, we are downloading much smaller files, things in the 150 megabyte to 1 gigabyte range. Nobody has tried to download Zelda from our crew yet. Curious once we download our first full retail game, how long that takes. And maybe we'll test that out just to see. But from my experience, the eShop and the download times have been pretty darn cool. I would say the only slowdown and hold up there is plugging in your credit card. But as long as you have that memorized, it really shouldn't add too much time. Now, Gabe has the lead, but this is what happened last time. Lap 2, Gabe had the lead, and Jake pulled ahead on lap 3. So let's see what happens as they race to the finish. A lot of orb collecting. This is a very fast game, going upwards of 700 miles per hour when they get those speed boosts. And now Jake has reclaimed the lead, just like last time. It's deja vu as we enter the final lap, and Jake has a slight advantage. The right screen is in the lead. Left screen lagging a little behind. Can he catch him here on the third and final lap? He does. He gets the pass after Jake hangs in the air a little too long. Now Gabe has the advantage as we move into the second half of lap 3. Feel like I'm on Space Mountain. Then I'm actually in space. Where is that blue shell when you need it, Jake? Gabe's holding on strong. Currently, Gabe is playing with a grip. Jake is playing with split Joy-Cons. Again, interesting to see how people choose to play these games in tabletop mode or docked mode when you have some different control options. Who is going to win? It looks like Gabe might take this one. And he does, evening the score at 1-1. That is LAN play with Fast RMX, and it's a very painless and pretty darn speedy process that we are loving here. If you guys want to see another Fast RMX video or see who wins the championship between these two, let us know in the comments. We'll bring it your way. Until that time, everybody, thanks so much for watching. Make sure to hit that notification bell to stay up to date on the latest and greatest from Switch and from our crew. Until then, though, thanks again for watching. Congrats to Jake and Gabe. Switch Force out.